Frankenstein really is one of those timeless stories that will just last for generations. There is something just inherently interesting about Frankenstein. Whether it's the novel that everyone was forced to read in high school to a bunch of animated movies, I mean, the range here knows no limits. And Frankenstein has certainly been explored in Hollywood. We've had a bunch of iterations from the past or different tales on it. And even just recently, it feels like we're in some sort of Frankenstein resurgence. We had Lisa Frankenstein, Sebastian Stan announced he's going to be in a Frankenstein movie. We have The Bride of Frankenstein coming out soon. And today we have Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. A longtime passion project of his that follows the novel most closely is here. And Guillermo del Toro is one of the industry's most beloved figures. After years of great films and subsequently Oscar wins, his good grace just continues to climb. Nightmare Alley got a pretty surprising Best Picture nomination at the time. He won another Oscar for his aforementioned Pinocchio, and people just seem to love him. I mean, movies aside, it would be very weird if someone was like, man, I hate Guillermo del Toro. I'd be like, what the fuck? Why? What's wrong with you? What did he do? All he does is smile and love movies. And you can see that was the case when he got a standing ovation at the premiere of Frankenstein at the Toronto International Film Festival, where I was in attendance. I saw the movie and I'm still kind of working my feelings through it. All I know is I definitely liked it. How much do I like it? That I'm still trying to figure out. Let's start with the first thing here. This movie's 2.5 hours long, and it really does feel like it. It's big, it's dense, and large sections of the movie, particularly in the first half, can feel very brooding. The movie's essentially split into two parts. The first part is with Oscar Isaac's character as Victor Frankenstein, and the second part covers Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein's monster. And the Victor Frankenstein section starts off with Victor Frankenstein as a kid. And when I saw that, my brain broke for a second. Because yes, while I understand thematically why it's important to shape it as a father-son story, which then shapes Victor Frankenstein's relationship with the monster, God, it just dragged. Everything with the kid was just a bunch of fluff and added a bunch of runtime to it. And that's not a knock on the performances either from the kid and all the characters in that section. It's just that section overall. I don't like being that person to say, oh, like, let's just remove a certain section of the movie because, you know, that's not my place. But you know what I'm saying? Even from talking with people after the screening, I mean, even from the people who loved this movie, they did agree that was probably the weakest part of the movie. And starting off your movie with the audience kind of, you know, waiting for the quote unquote real story of Frankenstein to start in an already long, patiently paced movie might not be the best way to start it off, especially in a festival, which may explain some of the muted reactions too. But eventually, the movie gets a hold of the story as Oscar Isaac enters the movie, and we have a real protagonist to hold on to. And I think he's excellent. Now, Oscar Isaac is like a personal favorite actor of mine, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I think he actually really works for the character that Guillermo del Toro was going for here. Because you have to buy him as this character, not only as someone who's exceptionally smart, but someone who is charming enough to get rich folk to invest in his projects. And that obviously works because he's Oscar Isaac. And I think the Oscar Isaac section does give a solid base and foundation off of what is to come with Jacob Elordi's part. Because to me, once we shift to Jacob Elordi's section of the movie definitely takes a level up. First, I'll just say having an actor of Jacob Elordi's stature fully buy into this character is just good to see. Because I can't tell you how many times we hear of a story of a movie after the fact where the actor kind of complains about the makeup process or what they were asked to do. And considering a large section of this movie, Jacob Elordi is covered in makeup and really he's grunting and yelling or saying Victor, it's nice to hear that he fully loves this character. He's talked about what a lovely experience it was and how much the character means to him and how important it was for him to be in that makeup process to really get into the character's psyche. So you take all that, and he delivers an excellent performance here. First of all, let's get the obvious out the way. Physically, he matches, all right? Jacob Elordi is like 6'20" basically. But most importantly is his eyes. Because even with all the great makeup work, with all the scarring and the disfigurements, his eyes really stand out. And there are so many shots that stay focused on his eyes, and they are filled with so much humanity that it has really stayed with me. I mean, the term gentle giant has never been more appropriate here. Even to the point that when he does become violent and starts thrashing people and murdering people, you still don't look at him as some raging monster. Because that violence is obviously backed up with reason. Most of the time, it is strictly just in defense. And this movie's ability to slowly shed the monster image and kind of transform it into a real-life human character for the audience is one of the most impressive things about this movie. And as people know, Guillermo del Toro is the best at this creature work, yes, but also in getting the audience to fully buy into the creature as more so. He's able to get the audience to have and establish a personal attachment to the creature. And it's their relationship between Victor Frankenstein and the monster that really evolves and is what has really stayed with me throughout the movie. And you surround that father-son story with themes of fate and free will and how delicate / harsh life can be. And there's a lot to admire here. Plus, I gotta say, the film looks great. The costumes are some of the best of the year, along with the incredible sets. The makeup, as mentioned, is certainly worthy of acclaim, as well as the cinematography. Even though I will say the Netflix sheen, maybe I'm gaslighting myself, but I feel like I did see that at times. Ultimately, this is one of those movies that at the very least I admire. And again, considering the level of exhaustion you're going through at the festivals, how many movies you're seeing a day, this is definitely one that I want to rewatch on a normal day, because with more time away from the movie as the festival has passed already, it is one of the movies that has stayed with me the most. Yes, the brooding nature at times, the admittedly rocky start, and just the pacing and length of the movie will certainly not be for everybody, but it's one that I continue to keep thinking about and one that I admire more as time goes on. But for now, Frankenstein, 3.5 stars. I mean, it got runner-up at TIFF. So clearly people like this movie. Let me know what you all think if you're even excited to see it. But I think most cinephiles will go out to see it because it's Guillermo del Toro. We know who the directors are to go out for. Please subscribe. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.